wanted to create a sense of security and safety for our personalities and our identity. There's music that we can't put in a genre, so we've been actively calling ourselves No Genre Phony Ppl for the past couple of years to let people know there's way more that we're capable of.
All five of us born and raised in Brooklyn to settle any concerns. We find ourselves being, pigeon-holed in a certain place. People thinking that, all people of a certain kind of genre come up through the same kind of musical background. And if you know us, you know that, I heavily grew up on rock music. A lot of us grew up on jazz. Asia and I were in a classical chamber orchestra for 4 years. So, it comes from all different influences, and I think before we were even worried about our identity, we had so many musical influences that we couldn't help but have them all come out.
We're always like, what else? What next? What if that? Or what if not that? You know what I mean? Then that pushes us to get to where we're trying to head to.
And we've been traveling so much, I feel like exposure is a big part of that growth. The more that we see different ways of life and cultures and people, we learn the similarities and differences, and you bring it back to your home with you, and you realize some decisions you make and where they come from.
Within the music industry, I feel like it's the way you move, the decisions you make, and making sure you have the right team.
Who you have around you plays a big role.
We love making music.
Yeah.
Every single day. We wake up in the morning, this is what wakes us up in the morning, to make music, to play music. And then there's other sides of the industry that's about numbers.
Right.
We met just focused on art. We liked the music part, but I remember way back in the days when we rehearsed, this drummer named Ralph Rowe, one thing that always stuck out of everything was he's like, this is not the music business, it's the business of music.
And so you have to deal constantly with these compromises and this sense of understanding that comes between pragmatism and art.
As an artist, you're the boss and CEO of your image, of yourself.
Don't go into a partnership, a business, an industry, or what have you, thinking you know everything, because you most likely don't, and there's always something to learn. And the more that you kind of restrict yourself going in, is the lesser you're going to recognize a good opportunity from a bad one.
When this entity started, we never thought we would become businessmen. There's the art is what you're starting on, but if you let the art take you for the ride, then the business will start to follow. Patience is one of the keys to finding new inspiration, because we're always about what's next.
Sometimes we might not feel inspired, but eventually, as we're still breathing and we're still living, that inspiration will kick back some way.